And I've been using EduSmart as an introduction to my science lessons based on whatever tech those lessons are about. And then all my team has been using EduSmart then as a review then once. We're kind of using it as a pre and a post because we've got a CBA coming up, a curriculum-based assessment coming up, and we want to be able to review, and we feel like that the EduSmart is going to be a really good review tool for that. The EduSmart was so excellent with the visual part of it. Yes, they have the audio part in there also, but the graphics and everything are so well put together that the kids remember little snippets. Like, we're working on adaptations right now, and so we choose just to play EduSmart through, at least even a section of it, you can. But you also have the chance to pause it and just interject your own questions, whatever's appropriate. And there's a lot of teachable moments in there. And it is meshed so well. And the part that we liked so much about EduSmart is that it is based on the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. We have lots of good resources out there. We've had a lot of resources come into our district. But you must pick and choose. Being able to incorporate EduSmart in with the rest of our new science curriculum which our district adopted this spring, or this school year rather, it just fits. Really enhances lessons. My team and I feel that EduSmart is really versatile because we can use it as an introduction. We can use it in the middle of a lesson. We can use it in the middle of a unit. We can use it to summarize a unit, and then we can also use EduSmart for an assessment. It covers nearly every use that we would have, that we would need from a resource. EduSmart replaces a lot of resources for us, I believe, because it's all right there, it's in one package, and we can go through and find what we need easily and just pull those parts out, show it. The children have already, when we say the word EduSmart in class, they go, "Yay, we get to watch EduSmart today." They really, really like it. And because EduSmart has a vocabulary piece built in, they're getting it and don't realize they're getting it. And so in that way, it's extremely engaging for them, and everybody has their hands up. Even kids who are really, really hard to engage really get into it. And I'm thinking, part of it's the video component of it, because this is kind of the Nintendo generation we're dealing with. EduSmart really illustrates it so that I can bring that theoretical into a picture for them, and they can see exactly what I'm talking about. EduSmart in like a pre-assessment scenario where we talk to the kids, we question based on what EduSmart is saying, but then we can look at which perhaps higher level concepts that they're not familiar with, and then we can go through, and then perhaps I do a lot of revisiting EduSmart after the kids go home and look at it again and say, okay, I replay it in my mind. This is where they did this. This is where they didn't do that. What can I do next with this? So it really does help them build background knowledge, and also helps me assess what their background knowledge previously was. EduSmart definitely has helped me expand as a professional in teaching science, because it allows me to just have that one extra tool to get the point across to the kids, because you can talk to kids and talk to kids and talk to kids, and their eyes just glaze over. But there's still always going to be children in a classroom who just don't have the background knowledge or the schema to have any clue what I'm talking about. Some of our kids have never been outside our neighborhood. And EduSmart allows me to take them outside of their neighborhood and see things that I have the picture in my mind, and I want to create the picture in their mind. Without a doubt, helped with my ELL students, because, again, vocabulary is a big sticking point with our kids. Our kids are every bit as intelligent and able to learn as any other kid from any other neighborhood in the world, much less the United States. However, they don't have the vocabulary. And this, because they call everything a thing. They will come to me and try to describe something, and they're saying, well, you know, miss, this thing that da-da-da-da-da, you know. And I'm like, oh, that would be, you know, the wing feathers, or that would be the beak, or whatever. Yeah, miss, that's it. And the vocabulary piece in EduSmart has really helped these kids get a grip on the scientific vocabulary. To use EduSmart to start all the kids here, and we bring them all along. Nobody gets left in the dust, quote unquote, whenever we use EduSmart, because they sometimes, you know, I may question those kids in a different way, but they've seen it. And this is where truly being in a heterogeneous environment is helping these kids, because they can feel successful too. Because I can ask them a question and say, okay, sweetheart, you know, if you don't quite remember that, why don't we replay that? I've seen definite gains in particularly those children who were not performing well at the beginning of the year. They may or may not even be at what we would consider passing right now, but in my opinion, growth from 30 percentile to the 65th percentile is phenomenal in 1 year. And I believe we can credit EduSmart with helping a lot with that. Science in general is my big love, and I want all kids to know this. And to have a resource like this come to us that is so easy to use that we can use it on a moment's notice if we need to. If we need to go and revisit something, or we want to do a review. We were just talking this morning about how we want to revisit all the texts that we've covered over this last 9 weeks so that we can adequately review our kids for the curriculum-based assessment that's coming up. It's just been a boon to the economy, as we say, because it's just something that's so easy. It's not something we have to put so much effort into. But it's not because EduSmart's hard to use. I can just look in there and find what I need and put that into my lesson plan and say, okay, this is the way we're going to introduce the lesson. This is the way we're going to assess as we go. Assess on the fly. This is the way we're going to reinforce something we don't think the kids got yesterday. This is the way we're going to do a post-assessment, etc.